Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, it is Thursday. Thank you. December 15th, is that right? Keen's Day?
Yeah.
Keen's Day, 10 days till Christmas, exactly, because we did the 12 days on the 11th day of Christmas yesterday, and we got a big kick out of it. Anyway, welcome to episode 26 of the Note Closer Show, guys and gals. We are excited. Getting a little bit of a later start today, obviously, for two reasons. One, I absolutely, you ever have those days where you just completely comatose through? Kind of slept through my alarms this morning and then just went to the gym, and then Jen is out today getting a dentist, so dealing with that and all that other good stuff. But we have a lot of great things going on, right, everybody?
Right.
Ryan and Greg are working on some really cool marketing for some CFD offers that we'll be focused on getting out here this afternoon and tomorrow. So you have something to look at over the weekend if you really want to pull the trigger on a deal before the end of the year. Nicole's working on some great marketing stuff as always. Many people really enjoyed the video that you put together yesterday on the Magical Note Mastermind replay. It's a busy Thursday, obviously. But today's topic, as we say, is no drama queens allowed. What's funny is I'm getting bombarded with phone calls from people and the students, and I like talking to students. I do like people calling me up, hey, I got an offer accepted, or I got an offer. But what's sad is that people sometimes flip out. Oh my God, they didn't accept my offer. Or, oh my God, I submitted it, I knew my numbers, I had a strong offer, I've dealt with them before, and they didn't accept it. So, I'm amazed that people get dramatic about it, and you can't be dramatic. You got to kind of have an even keel when it's in your business. Don't get personal about it. I mean, this is why I tell people all the time: if you need to close 20 deals in a year, expect you need to make 200 offers initially. I mean, we're still lucky enough that I maybe get 30, 40% of my offers accepted. I don't go 100%, and that's what's always when people tell me, "Oh, I'm not going to bid on this pool because I'm bidding on other assets." I'm the big proponent. Like, you need to bid on as many pools of offers across different sources as possible. Because in some situations, if you're only bidding on one pool and the seller sells the whole pool to somebody, you're SOL, okay? Or if they have a stronger buyer on an asset, don't be offended by it. Realize one of two things. A, either that potential buyer is overpaying for the asset. B, they know something more about it. Maybe they're closer to the asset instead of across the country, so they can pay a little bit more. Or C, they don't know shit and they're just smoking crack as well. Now, you hope that C happens, because what you can do as a note investor is like, okay, my offer's at 43, you had an offer at 60, good for you, congratulations if you can get that, Mr. Seller. What doesn't stop you from doing is following up in a week or two and say, hey, did you end up selling that asset at 60? If they did, great, congrats, move on. If they didn't, a lot of times I've been able to close deals a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months after I originally saw them and my bid was declined or countered at a number that didn't make sense for me, closed it at my number anyway by just following up. So this is a numbers game. You can't make one offer and expect it to be accepted. I think that's traditional real estate. Can we agree with that, everybody? Mm-hmm. A lot of people are mailing out 5,000 postcards and they get upset when they only get like 20 phone calls. This is the law of averages. I mean, you're going to get a 1 to 4% response rate in postcards and direct marketing. The thing with notes is so great. A, there's not as many people bidding, but there are still some people bidding. Okay? So that's the same thing. Also in work, people get so bent out of shape. Well, they didn't modify. They told me to go pound sand or go F off. That's the borrower. It's going to happen. Or it drug on. It's going to. This is a law of numbers. Over time and over a portfolio of things, your numbers are going to average out. It is what it is. Every deal is completely different. You can't get emotionally tied to a deal, all right? Also, if something has to be done in a business, get the most important things done. Don't flip out, oh, you got to make a phone call. Well, the phone call, as long as I get it done before 5, great. The most important thing to get done is this, this, and this in a day. So if somebody flips out or is on you, just listen, I will get it done, but it's not going to be at your priority, it's going to be at my priority, okay? So if you have people around you that are flipping out or drama queens or things like that, sometimes you just got to tell them, hey, shut up, relax, I will get this done. I have to get this done first. This is the most important thing. And some people have a hard time struggling with that. A lot of people will make checklists. Anybody do that?
Yes.
and we fake ourselves out by checking off all this bullshit stuff, and then we never really get the most important things done. All right? So if you really want to avoid the drama queens and get stuff done, you need to basically get rid of your to-do list and focus on your big rocks, your big rock list. Now, my college professor, I came in to do my freshman college class, and it was biology, and one of the things that he had laid up on his table, I don't know if it was biology or science, I can't remember. Maybe it was,
Same difference.
Same difference, exactly, right? So what he had is he had two pickle jars, two big pickle jars, and then besides the pickle jars, we're not talking like the kosher one, we're talking like the 2-gallon, 3-gallon pickle jar. You know, like the ultimate tip jars that we would use. You know, the kind that when you work for a restaurant, you get a thing of olives in it. You know, they're golden. Okay, trust me. The reason I know that because I had a big tip jar when I worked as a bartender. My goal was to fill it every night. Anyway, so off the side of these two big pickle jars, he had some rocks, he had some caliche, he had some pea gravel, he had some sand, and then he had some water. And he asked the class, in what order should we go? Should we go from the right with the water and work our way to get the rocks in? Or should we start with the rocks and work our way to get to the water? And so most of the class, I'll just start from the water side. So people, you put the water in, you put the sand in, you put the caliche in, you know, the pea gravel. But by the time you got to put the rocks in, there was too much shit filled up in that canister. He couldn't get all the rocks in. So if you go the other way, you put the big rocks in first. You put the caliche in around it, fell in around it. The pea gravel filtered through it. Poured the sand in, filled in, and then at the very end, he poured the water in, and it filled up completely right at the top of the day. And that the analogy for that is we all have so many hours a day. We all have 24 hours a day, or 8 hours in a work day, or really, if you sleep 8 hours, you've got 16 hours to your day. Now, if you've got 8 hours of that put to a job that you're working on and have responsibility, that's great. That leaves you with 8, 6, really probably 4 hours after you figure eating, traveling, showering, and all that other good stuff to get something done. So you have to be important. You have to categorize things in your day with your limited time by your big rocks. Okay. When I walk in each day, I'm always okay. What's the big rocks that I have to get done? And sometimes those big rocks change. So like for the last 2 days, we've been waiting for a signed contract to come in so that we can, from a seller, so we can wire money out on 3 closed deals for students. Still waiting on the contract. I don't wire without a contract. Am I flipping out? Oh my God, I need to get my paperwork. No, just chill. I know it takes a little while sometimes. It's just, but we want to make sure we have a signed contract that protects ourselves. Okay. Another thing that happens sometimes is people are like, oh, we made 60 offers and only 30 got accepted or 30 countered. What happened to the other 30? Well, either they were too low, which in some case happens where the seller is like, these are too low. I don't want to give away my position. You just need to up your bids. So we up our bids. We counter back at higher rates and see what happens. It is a numbers game. It's simply a numbers game in the note business. It's not, you're not going to go 100%. You're not going to go 100 for 100. You're going to go probably starting off 10 for 100. This is why you want to make as many offers across the board as possible. Now, we had a few mastermind members who chose not to bid on the note draft that we did Monday with our note mastermind because they were already making offers on other things. Well, I'm getting bombarded. They're like, oh, I didn't get my offers accepted on these. What do I do wrong? And I look at their numbers like, you didn't really do anything wrong. I think you're a little low. But you got to realize the seller's trying to move these. If they're motivated to move this, they need to try to grab as much profit as possible and still leave meat in the bone for you. So follow up. Don't be emotionally tied into it. Don't take it as a personal affront to yourself that, oh, why didn't they not? I have closed with them before. They should give it to me. I am myself. I am me. Must give me the deals. No, it doesn't work that way. Especially when you're dealing with low-hanging fruit. Now, low-hanging fruit in the note industry would be the spreadsheets that you get from the Watermark Exchange or like David Polio or Daniel Rosario. Those are easy deals that come out to you. You better expect to pay a little bit more for those versus the stair step. Or you can't lowball those guys because oftentimes they're emailing them out to different investors to make things happen. So you have to come in with a competitive offer. You have to follow up. And if they tell you your bid is accepted, you need to get a loan sale agreement as fast as possible. Some hedge fund managers will say you get a higher offer, and then a higher offer comes in that same day, and they're going to go with the highest offer because it means more commission to them, more profits across the board. And so you've got to be a little aggressive, but don't be a drama queen. There's no time. And drama queens often make things 10 times worse. Can we agree to that, everybody?
Yes.
They get all about them. It's all focused on that. And they have a 5-minute problem that becomes a 5-minute hiccup becomes a 5-hour problem. Because that's all they can focus on. They go down the rabbit hole. They're upset. They want to. I'm like, just chill, relax. That's why here in our offices, I'm a big proponent. You've probably heard me say that. Like, listen, if we have a problem, let's come up with a solution. Let's focus on the solution and work it. If we have a problem, if we can fix it, great. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. We'll fix it. If it can't be fixed, well, shit, there's nothing we can do. Don't worry about it. I know this drives Steph a little awkward with my lackadaisical Jamaican approach to things, but I think if you spend more than 30 seconds bitching about a problem, you're taking good energy and throwing after bad energy. And you either need to move on or find a solution to make things work. And so that's one of the biggest things. If I haven't told you this, guys, if you got a problem, come to me with a solution. Because the last thing I want to know is, we got problems. Okay, how are we going to fix this? Tell me what the solution is. Can we fix it? Let's get it done. If we need to go a little bit more in depth to it, okay, we go a little bit more in depth to it. But don't make a 5-problem hiccup a 5-hour problem. And many people do that out there. They spend forever fixating on it. I'm going to spend so much time working on deals. Well, they spend so much time working on the deals and you're not out marketing for new assets. That's the problem. They become entrapped and focused on what they have versus going and finding new solutions. And that's why so many people get emotional about this drama. Like, well, I got these sources. Why won't they close anything with me? Well, because other people have those same sources. You need to go out and learn to hunt and fish in a stream that other people aren't. I mean, if anybody ever been fishing, if you go to a river and there's 100 other people fishing there, do you think you're going to catch that fish? Probably not, right? Probably not. If you do catch a fish, you'll be really lucky. This is why you want to. Oh, it's a great analogy. The whole theme from A River Runs Through It. You ever seen that movie? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, you've never seen A River Runs Through It with Brad Pitt. And his father in it is the guy that plays Tom Cruise's captain in Top Gun. Damn it all. Anyway, you've not seen A River Runs Through It, you need to go rent it this weekend. It's good.
I'll make a note.
It's on Netflix, I think. But the image of a guy out fishing in the middle of the stream by himself. So why most people like to go fishing. They need solitude. You get the water. People don't like to go fishing when there's 100 people around. So you want to go find the fish by yourselves. So be a fisherman. All right? Go find new sources. Spend the time focused on that. If you're only focused on the low-hanging fruit, at some point all the fruit's going to get picked or you're getting beaten to the punch to get that low-hanging fruit. Okay? Any questions, any comments from anybody?
George Crocker says that you're on late, but it's never too late to learn and act.
That's right. Well, we are a little later today. I'm also doing a test run to see if we get more hits in the afternoons on some days than we do first thing in the morning at 10 o'clock. So it's doing some A/B test marketing with you guys. Because it's split testing, exactly. It's 4 o'clock on the East Coast. Most people are looking to waste their day by the end of Thursday. So that's what we're trying to do with this. So on this one, Ryan, you're going to want to double check and test numbers tomorrow afternoon. Check the number before you leave on Friday. Okay? What else, guys? I mean, it's getting cold in most of the United States. This is going to hit a cold front, except for those friends in Florida. I know. 70 degrees down in Orlando or just west or Miami. Got some friends down at Fontainebleau right now having a good time. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, you guys, it's Thursday. It's literally, we have really, 8 days before Christmas?
Woo!
Somebody's excited over there. Do something. Most asset managers will want you to close before the 27th, 28th of the year. If you're not bidding on anything, do yourself a favor and start marketing. Pull your smartphone out, start talking to people, start recording what you're learning, learning what you fail upon. This is something I learned today. What's the thing I learned today? And you'd be surprised at how many people are attracted to learning from your failures, which is okay. God knows I failed enough. So that's the only way. So if you keep failing forward, you're never going to fall on your ass. You'll land on your face, but you learn more about yourself from failing than success. I can guarantee that because I've always learned more about my business from the things that I failed upon, even marketing. Mm-hmm. I think we agree to that, right, everybody? We've had some really good ads that did really well, and other things that just bombed, flopped. One of the biggest things I learned this last year, and it has adjusted my business And it was something that was really causing me a lot of pain. We were planning to put together this event last February or March in Houston called the Build Your Legacy Summit. And the whole idea of it was to bring in professionals like Aaron Young and other attorneys and asset protection people to really have a summit together to help people identify solutions for themselves, from even having their power of attorney to their wills to their living trusts, and how to implement the Rockefeller strategy in your life where you don't own anything but you control everything through management companies and things like that. Great idea. And we had such great marketing, the whole Build Your Summit legacy. Oh my God, the logo was phenomenal for it. We dropped 15,000 postcards in Houston alone. We expected to have 200, 300 people show up, and we basically had 3 people sign up for it. And I'm sitting there sweating because there's going to be 75 people at it, but 75 people are like, these are most of the people that are either speakers or vendors. Why am I going to have vendors just talk to vendors? And I'm sitting here literally, Steph's like, oh my God, it costs us 80 grand. We have nobody showing up. I'm like, oh shit, we're already into this thing for like 20 grand. And I'm like, literally, like the week before, I'm like, forget it, we're canceling it. What? We can't cancel. Yeah, we can. And I remember sitting in the office here, and I was literally like, I couldn't turn my head all the way because I was so stressed out in my neck. So stressed out. I'm like, this could be a great event. Greg Reed was going to fly in, and other people were going to fly in, and I was like, can't do it. So I picked up the phone and started calling people on that Monday. I said, listen, stay home. Then the speakers are like, huh, what? Like, listen, I don't have anybody who's coming. We've done everything marketing. We've dropped and done all this stuff, dropped postcards and letters and emails, and nobody is getting it. Huge failure. And I remember the minute that I decided to quit that event and just say, forget it, we'll move on to something else, this wave of relief swept over me. I mean, I thought I was having a heart attack the day before because I was so stressed out about it. Because I like things being big. I like having people show up. I want to be successful. But I think it was God's way of saying, like, Scott, we already started doing the virtual workshops, and they were off to a great success, far better than we ever thought. I think it was God's way of saying, listen, you need to quit doing hotel events. You need to quit thinking about conferences. And I learned more from that failure. And then Steph and I were driving to Dallas the next week to go speak somewhere in Dallas or go meet with somebody. I don't remember exactly what it was. And lo and behold, is that Steph right there?
That is Stephanie.
Steph, come on in, Steph. I'm talking about how Note Camp just got started there. Hi.
Hi, join.
So we're literally driving to Dallas. Steph's like, we should just do a virtual summit.
Yeah.
Okay? We should just do a virtual summit. That's how Note Camp came around, and Note Camp has been tremendously successful, a whole lot less stress, people traveling, and it all became from what? From a failure, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Build Your Legacy Summit. Come on over here and say hello to everybody.
Get over.
Hi.
So we're in the conference room here.
The war room.
The war room there, exactly. So you can tell me if this is up and right if I get back here. I'm good?
Yep.
So you're going to learn more from your failures, but the thing is, we had this whole idea for a new event. It wasn't a purely Note event. We put it out there and it failed. Now, I'm not saying a Build Your Legacy Summit couldn't be good virtually again, but we are in hell never going to do another big freaking hotel event going forward. So, what was great is the speakers, every speaker, Aaron Young, Greg Reed, Dennis, Dennis May? The attorney, the big asset protection attorney Kevin Day, thank you. Kevin Day, Aaron Young, Quest IRA, Sean Wasinskill, people that were going to be vendors there all respected it when I called them and said, listen, no offense, it's not going to be worth your time. Stay home, enjoy your weekend. What you paid for a booth will get refunded back to you. And they're like, well, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, it just flopped. And they were happy, and I think I gained more respect because they're like, hey man, don't worry about it. It happens. Thanks for letting us know. Now I get to spend the weekend with my kids, or I get to spend the weekend doing something else. Or I actually have a weekend off because most speakers are out traveling all the time. And so they would rather do that versus come to an event that bombs. And unfortunately, a lot of people, a lot of promoters will push events that bomb because they need to make that little bit of money off of that. And I'm like, listen, don't get me wrong, money's money. I wouldn't step over $1 out there. If I saw $1, I'd pick it up, like anybody would. But you have to realize that sometimes making mistakes along the way is the only way you're going to grow as an individual. It's the only way you're going to avoid drama in your life because you actually get outside of your comfort level. You know what you can do. You know what you can overcome and make things happen. And sometimes, yeah, it was an expensive check to write and pay for the hotel and say, hey, we're not coming. Yeah, they're a little upset with us, but it happens. It's better to sink that money in that was already gone versus spend another 80 grand on something that was going to fail. So we all learn from our mistakes. As I say, guys, no drama. Avoid the drama queens. Focus on the big rocks. No drama mamas. Don't let a 5-minute issue turn into a 5-hour issue. So hopefully enjoy your Thursday. We got any questions, comments from people out there?
Nope. All quiet on the Western Front.
All quiet on the Western Front. So, all right, guys, have a great Thursday afternoon. Enjoy your Thursday evening. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the next No Closure Show. Bye.